Okay, hi everyone, it's Koinzell here. So today I'm bringing you guys a KPM video for a few classes, mainly the 4 classes that I've been thinking of considering. So the first one is obviously the Phantasma that I was using previously. I want to show you guys the Phantasma's KPM in Chaos map. Phantasma actually has a very good advantage in Hadum Foremost Zone and Hadum Nightmare, because in those zones, right, the HP of the mobs is much higher than even the rest of the Hadum maps, so it's much harder to one-hit them. So that is where the advantage of Phantasma or Darkness comes in, because of a high damage. But in Chaos maps, right, it's very different. In Chaos maps, the feature is that it's a Chaos zone that has characteristics from both the Elio map as well as Hadum map. So what are the two characteristics? Basically, the Elio map, they inherited the characteristic where it's very easy to one-hit the mobs. As for the Hadum part, they inherited the not the auto, but the instant respawning. So you see here, after 1 minute, we have gotten 232 kills. Okay, so that is the first run for Phantasma. For each of the class, I will take 2 runs. Okay, let me skip ahead to the next video. Okay, so this will be the second run. Same spot, same CP, everything same, constant. The basis of the test is to make sure that the classes can all one-hit the mobs, which really is not difficult because, like I said, the Chaos regions inherits the nature of Elio maps where it's very easy to one-hit the mobs compared to Hadum Foremost and Hadum Nightmare. That's why even in my Hadum tier list, it is based on Hadum Nightmare and Hadum Foremost zones where it's much harder to kill the mobs with one hit. If you use low CP Hadum maps, right, everyone can one hit the mobs. The difference will not be huge. Everyone can easily achieve 200 plus KPM. Okay, so that being said, right, the 4 classes that I'm considering, first one is Phantasma, which I'm using. Then you have the Archer, you have the Hashashi, and Mage. Okay, these are the 4 main classes that I've been considering, and naturally these are the 4 classes that are like either they are top tier or they are new, like Hashashi. Okay, so you see the second run here, we have 227 kills here. Okay, so basically if I go ahead to the Excel, okay, so here basically Phantasma at this CP in this map where we can one-hit the mobs, Chaos maps. First round was 232. Where is this? Okay, wait. Never mind. First round is 232. The next one is 227, and the next one is 229.5. Okay. I don't know why it's stuck with this particular one here. Okay, never mind. So it's 232, 227, so the average is 229.5. Okay. Now let's move on ahead to the next class. Okay, so next is Archer. The CP that I have right now is about 6 to 7k higher than the map. It's the same map and same spot as well, so that the test can be more accurate. So this is Archer. At this point in time, I have not done any class change. It's still my alternate. So I don't know whether you guys can tell the difference, but the Archer skills are definitely faster. So let's see at the end of it, right? At the end of 1 minute, how much is the KPM? So just to share with you guys, I was using my phone to use do the timer, so that it's more accurate. We cut away the reflex time in terms of clicking the. If I show you something, a timer that is within the video, there will definitely be a lag time between me clicking it and moving back to the game screen itself. So that's why I did not use the timer in the video for you guys to see. I use my phone to do it. Rest assured that it's actually more accurate than if I had shown the timer. Okay, so now you see here is 259 kills. So right off the bat, it's already higher than the Phantasma for the first run. Let's look at the second run. Okay, so Archer second run, same spot, same CP as you can see. What I did was just to drop this quest so that we can reset the counter to 0 and take it again so that we reset the counter to 0. So let's see how long it takes. The timer starts from the moment he starts attacking, which is the point where I start turning on the auto attack. So you see, I have actually mentioned before for Archer, right? Previously when I did the previous Hadum PvE tier list, I mentioned before that for Archer, if you can one hit the mobs, right, his farming speed will be very fast, and this is what you can see in Chaos. But in Hadum Foremost Zone and Hadum Nightmare, he can't achieve that because the mob's HP is much higher. Even with my main character CP, he can't achieve the one hit kill, or rather 100% one hit kill. Okay, I think it's about time. Yeah. Okay, so this time round, there's 269 kills. So it's even higher than previously when it was 259. Okay, let's go to the Excel itself to update the figures and look at the average. Okay, so as you can see here, Archer, with the amount of CP listed here, it's 259. 269 for the second run per minute, and average I would say is 264. Okay, so average is 264. It's very impressive compared to Phantasma, which if I want to be generous, I can round this up to 230. If I want to be stringent, I can round down to 229. Either way, it's about the same. And if you want to talk about the percentage, that is better than Phantasma. Let me just key in a quick formula. Okay, so basically it's 15% faster than Phantasma, 1.5, because you just do a simple math here, it's 15% faster. That's quite crazy, because what this means is that when I get a full level on Phantasma, I would have gotten 115%, 1 level and 15%. That's really crazy. Of course, it's not an exact 15% because since every level your SP requirement increase, but you get the gist of it. Okay, so let's move on to the next class. Okay, next class is the Mage. So Mage, right now I'm having about 6.2k CP, or if I include the buff, it's about 7k. 7k CP higher than the map itself. The map requirement here for this particular map is 21500, as you can see in my Excel spreadsheet earlier. So with this amount of CP, this is a realistic amount of CP. I chose this difference, right, in particular because that is the amount of difference I have on my main character versus the Foremost Zone's current CP, which is the dynamic CP that keeps increasing right now. Okay, because everyone's CP is increasing. Because there are still people who have not gotten full Chaos Gear, so that CP of the dynamic CP will just keep increasing until everyone stabilizes and get full set of Chaos Gear. Yeah. So as you can see here, right, the Frigid Fog Aura doesn't immediately one hit the mobs. I mean the aura itself, not the skill itself. So that is still a bit okay. The kill here is 232. Okay. Let's go on to the next run. Okay, so this is the second run. Again, same spot, same map. Now, why did I mention about the Frigid Frog Aura just now? Because if your CP is not 6k or 7k higher, it's 8 or 9k higher, the Frigid Frog Aura, which does like 20% of your actual Frigid Frog damage per tick, right? It can actually one hit the mobs. I actually tried that on the Mage before I took this video. And when that Frigid Frog Aura can one hit the mobs, the Mage can hit a very high amount of KPM. It was something like 270 plus, 280 plus. And just to share, the Archer, after doing some further tweaks and changing to a better spot, I was actually able to clock 300 kills per minute. Okay, 300 kills per minute. I'm not joking. Yeah, so 300 kills per minute, right? It's a huge increase compared to the 15%. 300 kills is probably something like 30%, 30 plus, almost 40% faster than the Phantasma. Now for Mage, right, if the Frigid Fog is not at a stage where the aura can one hit kill the mobs, right, the aura on the ground can one hit kill the mobs, her farming speed is still quite realistic per se. It's 232 for both runs, in fact. So let's go back to the Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so if you see here the Mage, like I said, I have put down the CP, which is 27700. The first round was 232, second round 232, so naturally the average is 232. So more or less is on par with the Phantasma, slightly better than Phantasma, not much of a difference, like 1%. And this type of amount can vary in terms of, I mean, it's not that significant of a difference, so we don't really need to talk about it. I'll just say that Phantasma and Mage is pretty much the same here, in the same level in terms of the farming. The only difference is that if you are a super high CP Mage, right, high until like rank 1 in your server, and your Frigid Fog aura is able to one hit kill the mobs, then in Chaos Zone, your farming speed can hit up to 280. Okay, but that is very difficult to achieve, because even with my CP, I can't achieve that. I can't. If I compare just the CP difference alone, I don't have enough CP, or rather my CP is not high enough such that the difference between the dynamic zone, the foremost zone, and my current CP is enough for my Mage to do a one hit with the Frigid Fog. Only the number 1 CP guy is able to do so. And even so, right, with the dynamic CP continuously increasing at a fast rate, it also means that the number 1 CP also needs to increase at that rate, which is difficult because the higher you go, the harder it is to get any CP boost. So I can say, realistically speaking, for Mage, right, if you want to talk about farming at the foremost chaos zone all the time, it will be the 232 kills. The average at 232 kills. It's not going to be the 280 kills that I mentioned. So as of now, for these 3 classes, Archer is still the strongest with the 264 kills. So since these two are more or less the same, the Phantasma and the Mage is more or less the same, it means that Mage is still about 15% faster than the Mage as well as the Phantasma. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the last class that I've been considering, which is the Hashashi. Okay, so this is my Hashashi. So similar concept, same map, same spot. CP is also about 27 plus K. So I have already tweaked these skills around so that I don't move around in the chaos farming. Because the second skill, right, which is actually a really good skill, the only problem is that it moves around a lot, and it can cause situation where you end up running back to your original spot, and that causes quite a huge loss in the farming speed when I'm trying to do like a per minute kind of count. So that's why I optimize the skills such that there is like little to no movement using the Hashashi. Okay. So you see I only have 5 skills here in rotation for the chaos farming, since the mobs respawn instantly. Okay. Okay, so after the first run, the number is actually quite nice. It's 246, it's higher than Phantasma, it's higher than Mage. Okay, so let's look at the second run. Okay, this is the second run. I know it looks very similar, but it's really the second run. Because I am trying to eliminate all the variables while doing this measurement. So I remove I'll make it same spot, same CP, same map. And I chose a map that is not dynamic CP, so that it's accurate as well. Otherwise, if I do it across 2 days, when the Dimensity map changes, then it's a bit inaccurate. But since Chaos maps, right, whether it's formal zones or the normal maps, you still can easily one-hit mobs, so it doesn't make a difference. Unlike in Hardum you can't use the non-formal zone maps or the non-dynamic CP maps to do your testing because it's really not accurate. Because most of the time, if you want to optimize your farming and if you're not a new player, right, or even like a medium or not completely ready for the endgame kind of player, you should be. If you're not the type of player, you should be already doing the formal zones. Okay, so now after the second round, we have 236 kills here. Let's go to the Excel. Okay, so there you have it, the CP for the 4 classes, or rather the KPM for the 4 classes that I have been considering to use. So Hashashi is actually pretty good in PvE if you look at this. Even with a one-hit type of one hit against the mobs, right? His animation is fast enough such that he is clocking 241 kills on average, average for 2 runs per minute. And that is actually more than the Mage and also more than the Phantasma. It's more than the Mage by about 4%. It's more than the Phantasma by about 5%. Okay. And as for Archer, right? Archer is 15% better than the Phantasma, and this number is more or less the same for Mage, probably something like 14%. But for but if I compare Archer against Hashashi, the kills is about let's see, how much is this? 9.5%. So it's 9.5% better than Hashashi. Okay, that's Archer. Archer is 9.5% faster than Hashashi in Chaos maps where you can one-hit the mobs. Okay, but like I said, right, my Archer, right, after I did all the KPM, after I did the class change, in fact, I actually tweaked around with his skills a little. I further optimized his skills as well as some of the spots that I should be farming in, and I actually achieved 300 kills per minute. I think the highest number was like 313. Yeah, so it's really quite insane. So the number here, the actual number here, when you optimize it and you go to the right spot, is something like 30% more than Phantasma. So it's a huge difference. 30% is a huge difference. Even 15% is a very substantial difference. But I can actually achieve 30% after I optimize the skills and I change to a better spot. I mean, of course, the Phantasma may get a slightly better result in the better spot as well. But generally speaking, I would say Archer will still be much faster than the Phantasma. Because even if the Phantasma, don't forget that it's not just changing of a spot, I also optimize his skills. I optimize his skills so that he can kill even faster. Okay, so but my Phantasma is already optimized. When at the point of doing this KPM video, my Phantasma was already optimized. So I can say that Archer is easily, I don't know, 20 to 30% better than Phantasma, at least. Okay, and versus Hashashi, maybe it's something like, I don't know, 15 to 20%, thereabout. Yeah, so, and I did not do a video on that 300 plus kills one because I still need to make sure that that spot is always available when I go to it. Yeah, so I probably share it when you guys get Chaos maps, which probably is going to be 1 year later. Yeah, you can share that in future. Okay, so that's it for today. I have 4 classes here that I did the KPM. As the results can show you, right, basically Phantasma and Mage is about the same. Archer is the highest, while Hashashi is slightly better than Mage and Phantasma. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that on global server, right, if you ask me about PvE, right, between Phantasma and Hashashi, yes, Hashashi is better, but it's not so much of a difference that you have to change from Phantasma. You have to spend 139 SGD or 100 USD thereabout to change from Phantasma to Hashashi. Because do not forget about the GVG factor and the PvP factor. Well, Hashashi PvP is actually quite strong, but GVG, I would say Hashashi probably cannot contribute as much as Phantasma. Because no matter what, it's still a melee class, it still has to take a lot of damage. If your CP is not high enough, you should not be playing a melee character. Unfortunately, that is the case when it comes to GVG. Alright, now you see here that there's Lam, Tamer, Destroyer, Huntress. I just put down the rest of my POG alternate classes. I want to find some time to eventually populate the KPM for them, as well as the other classes that I have, at least on my main account, so that will be like half of all the classes. But that being said, I don't know where I'll be able to find the time to do that. I just wanted to do for the classes where I was considering of using. Okay, alright, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you guys next video. Bye.